Good morning. My name is Nancy Kelly, and in the year 2000, at 34 years old, I was raped. The horror and the denial lasted a while until about 18 weeks. I realized I was probably pregnant. I worked at a hospital, Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, and I went for an ultrasound. A doctor I knew who knew my situation did the ultrasound for me and confirmed twins. She offered at that point a free, hush-hush, and illegal abortion to end my pregnancy. But she didn't know my whole story. You see, years before that, when I was young and dumb and didn't know any better, I'd had 2 abortions. The first at 9 weeks for a normal D&C. 1 year later, almost to the day, at 18 weeks, I had what was called a D&X, or what's normally known as a partial birth abortion. It has been 28 years, and no one can tell me different that I heard my baby scream. How could I heal that violence of rape with more violence? I chose to keep my babies and raise them. These people say that there are no resources. We've heard of these resources, and I'm going to reiterate some of them today. On the local level, I had churches and Baptist associations helping me with furniture and housing and food and cars. We lived at Hannah Home in Shelby for homeless and abused women for 2 years for an entire program. And several years after my twins were born, I went through what is now known as Alabama abortion recovery. And I can tell you that today, I no longer suffer from post-abortive stress. I am forgiven and set free. There are all over the world abortion recovery services such as Project Rachel, Abortion Recovery International, and Option Line. All you have to do is Google it and you will find pages and pages and pages. It's not just the women that suffer. On a state level, of course, my delivery, my medical, my children's medical coverage for their entire lives has been covered. And as a result of post-abortive stress and post-traumatic stress disorder, I have been on disability for many years and Medicaid. There are levels of help for women at all places. But see, my twins, they are the best things that ever happened to me. I would have died over and over and over again if they weren't there for my reason to live. I'm going to reiterate what Ryan said. Senator Davis said that my children are the residue of a rapist. Now, I can assure you that is not true. My children have, for all these weeks, listened to this over and over and over again on social media, and I'd like to read to you something that my daughter posted. My twins are 18 years old, and they graduated yesterday. They have value. My daughter said, I feel for the thousands of kids who are a product of rape and have physical or mental disabilities or foster children, because for the past 72 hours they have been subject to the media and everyone else saying that they don't have the right to exist. But they do. I didn't save them, they saved me. Who here had the choice of their conception? They turned my night of horror into the blessing. And they are the less than 1% who have been demonized and exploited. I can tell you instead that they and we are part of a larger collective of courageous and compassionate advocates for life who believe in a radical notion that we all have equal and irrevocable worth regardless of where our lives began. Thank you.